is look at the new, I believe there have been three grand eras of games. Solo player games that you buy at retail and play alone at home. Massively multiplayer games that you buy at retail, subscribe to, but now can play with other people. And with massively multiplayer games, the market went from 1 million people per game, single-digit millions, to double-digit millions. Tens of millions of players play it on a successful massively multiplayer game. But now we're in the era of casual games and social media games, the third era. What's interesting about this third era is we're now going to reach not just tens of millions, but hundreds of millions of players are now playing in these games. They're usually free to download, and then you pay for them over time, of course. But if you look at the games that are already popular, they're games about farming, they're games about shopkeeping, there's games about managing your pets. They're all of the roles in the role-playing game that was Ultima Online. And so I believe our team right here, who developed many of the Ultimas and Ultima Online, is uniquely capable of creating a new experience that will not only appeal to many, if hopefully most all, of the previous audience for games like Ultima Online, but also will appeal and draw in this whole new wave of players, these tens of millions of players who are now playing in a new era.
So it's time to talk about something new. Let's talk about Portalarium. The key question is, what is it exactly? For it is described as some kind of open life. It's not only social gaming or social learning or friendly, but it's like everything all together. So can you tell us about something more about this project and how will it manage relationships?
So I think the interesting challenge in this casual or social gaming space is to move to the next level of quality in a way that clearly demonstrates to players and developers how great games can be created in the new era. For example, I think that there are many ways to do it wrong. For example, there's lots of games that are so simplistic that they're not particularly interesting to the hardcore player. But it's also very easy to make a game that seems appropriate for casual that in fact I believe will have no market. For example, a lot of people, when they hear that we are going to develop a virtual world for social media, they assume that we mean a light, massively multiplayer game. And that's not what I mean. There are already today a huge number of free-to-play MMOs that have very good character creation, have very good quest and mission systems, have a very complete roles that you can play, from bakers to farmers to blacksmiths. But if you sit down and play any of them, or try to play any of them, I personally have no tolerance for it, because you usually spend 1 to 4 hours creating your character, and then you get thrown into the middle of a virtual world and told to good luck, hope you enjoy fighting some monsters and collecting treasure. And they're all basically the same, and they're all basically not interesting. But I believe our group is uniquely qualified to create a game that not only lets you start playing much more quickly, gets you into the play experience within 5 minutes, not 5 hours, which is what is demanded by the new players today, but also to provide a truly in-depth experience, like you've described, where the actions of the player have consequences and meaning that holds a mirror up to you as to your life within this virtual world, and therefore gives you a reason to care, to want to be in this world, which you don't have nearly that tie to in so many other games.
I think that an experience like the one you are describing must be really hard to implement. In social games we don't interact with NPCs but with other real people, that most important that we know, so it's most likely that we are going to act the way we want them to see us. So how can you avoid that everyone goes in the same popular direction, takes the same popular choices?
Yeah, in fact, just before I called you on Skype, I was downstairs talking with the team about this exact issue. Just because we've talked about it, with some regularity, and then I saw on when I was preparing for this interview, I thought, that would be a good topic of discussion, and so yes, that is something that we give periodic thought to, and still now believe that we can and will tackle, which is how to make NPCs and missions and quests seem to be less mindlessly automatic, where you just click on NPCs and then the mission is given to you, then you follow the arrow through the world to its conclusion, and more towards the idea that the kinds of activities that you do and the missions you choose to perform, or how you choose to perform them, will have a feedback loop that is relevant to your gaming experience, so that it becomes entertaining versus a mindless wander.
Well, that was the last question. So thanks again, Richard, for your time.
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
Goodbye.
Good to talk with you. Sure enough. Bye-bye.